Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon, everyone. You all look very happy. I don't know why. But you do. And obviously, I'm very happy to be here with all of you. And thank you, Dubravka.
You're welcome.
Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Thank you for the nice introduction. And of course, the testimonials from the two students, Deandra and Joseph, were incredible. Big applause for them. Obviously, I want to thank as profusely as I can our host and friend, Dr. Chris River, the president of for their hospitality and friendship. Their staff here has been phenomenal in helping HACU to come to this town. And of course, I was asked that I don't like to travel alone after so many of our staff were introduced. The fact is that they love to travel to places like New Jersey. And so I'm very happy that they are here with us today too. And before I go into my presentation, I would like to also recognize a group of individuals that is here with us that are part or were part of the HACU Leadership Academy. Would you please stand up and be recognized? They truly are extraordinary leaders, and many of those who have been part of the Leadership Academy over the last 4 years are already presidents and CEOs or have ascended to higher level positions in the administration of colleges and universities. And of course, interim president of New Jersey City University, Andres Acebo, is a good example of that. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And so I wasn't sure, frankly. Last night I was reviewing some notes and noticed that in my itinerary there was this title that was, I guess, expected that I address. And it is not necessarily HACU on the road, but it is the future of Hispanic higher education. So I was wondering which of the two should I do? And I said, well, I'm not gonna do both, okay? What I will try to do is give you a sense of what we try to do with HACU on the road, and then a couple of thoughts on what's coming our way. And I guess Richard Montes,
I'm here.
where are you? Okay. So all I gotta do is click it.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter that I'm on the side? Oh, okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, we'll see. Well, obviously, what I wanna say is that my presentation on the HACU on the road part is going to zero in on basically three things. First of all, I'm gonna give you a quick overview of some of the things that we've been doing and continue to do, some of the things that we're beginning to do or expect to do. And then I'm going to hopefully have some feedback from you, because we want to hear from you, whether you are doing a Q&A or if you have a burning question or comment to make, I'll stop and let you ask your question or make your comment. But first and foremost, I want to say that HACU obviously is the newest kid on the block, so to speak, of national associations in higher education. We are only 36 years old. There are some that we interact with in Washington that have been around forever. And yet, as we look back at our short life, we can be proud of the fact that not only have we established our presence in higher education with excellence, but very rapidly, because HACU was founded in 1986 with 18 member institutions. And HACU, obviously, in 1986, did not have yet the HSI definition established in law. That came about later in 1992, and no funding was available until the fiscal year 2000, until 1995, fiscal year. So, since then, we are now more than 572 HSIs alone, about 400 emerging HSIs. And the way things are looking, obviously, that growth will continue and it will be very rapid. And proportionate to the overall higher education and student population, our percentages will rapidly increase as well, because we are really the only population that is growing in higher ed. And the other major population in higher ed, the non-Hispanic white population, is actually declining. And so that's how we are beginning to realize that the importance of HSIs and HACU as the association that represents them is going to only grow as well. So let me show you this chart. Did it change? It didn't. Okay. I think I'm gonna need some help. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. It changed. And then basically what you see here is a pie chart that shows that more than 2/3 of the 3.8 million Hispanic college students today attend HSIs. That's huge. And of course, on the left side, you see the bar showing the number of HSIs and emerging HSIs. And of course, knowing that 400 are on the way to becoming HSIs, the 3.8 million would soon be many, many more. So HACU is obviously committed to championing Hispanic success in higher education. That's our mission. And our mission is carried out through three major pillars of work that we do. And first of all is advocacy. Some of you might have been at our latest Capitol Forum in DC. And of course, some have been to others in the past. That is our main platform to present to Congress and the administration our priorities in terms of funding, in terms of legislation. But it's not the only thing we do. We work year-round. HACU's headquarters are in San Antonio, Texas, where it was founded many years ago, 36, almost 37 years back. But we also have a very important office for advocacy purposes at the national level in Washington, D.C., that is led by Dr. Lina Rodriguez and her team with tremendous success. And those of you who were at the last Capitol Forum perhaps can just attest to the fact that we do have the ear of Congress, and we do have also the ear of senior officials in the current administration. We have 4 cabinet secretaries, and we had a number of members of Congress from the Senate and the House side, including our good friend and champion of exercise here in not just in New Jersey, but across the country, Senator Menendez. And so we are delighted that our advocacy work continues to make the case for HSIs and Latino higher education success. And so that's one of our main pillars. The other one is exemplary programs. Programs that we develop, replicate, pilot test and also try to infuse into legislation once we have evidence of their success. And those exemplary programs include what we do in terms of internships, what we do leadership-wise. Some of the testimonials, even just a moment ago, reflect some of that work. And of course, academia is another very important exemplary program, which is now being also used as a means of expanding the pipeline to the next level for entry and mid-level positions. And obviously connecting it to student programs like the internship program, so that we actually have a whole host of leadership interventions that are helping our young people and our faculty and administrators to move up the ladder. And those exemplary programs, of course, are central to what we do as an association. But the third pillar is really fundamental to the first two, because that is partnerships that we have with corporations, with nonprofits, and with federal agencies that believe in our mission and invest in what we do. So without their support, we certainly couldn't do what we do. But in terms of our advocacy work, I want to show you this graphic. Did it change? Yeah. Okay. And you see that the red line there is the different levels of annual appropriations for HSIs. And of course, there have been some ups and downs, but recently, of course, since at least 2015 or so, it is moving up. The needle is continually moving up. And the green bar basically is our request. So there is a big gap between what we ask for and what we get, but we're getting better every year. And of course, the main reason we obviously keep on asking a lot more than what we get is because your institutions, your students need those resources. And unfortunately, when we look at the way money is allocated across higher education, HSIs only get on average about 68 cents per student compared to the rest of the field. Because much of the money is going to research intensive institutions that of course require a lot of investments, and not much is left for HSIs and other underserved populations in higher education. But we're beginning to obviously break through some of those barriers. And the way I think it's going to be possible to really advance is by leveraging the fact that we not only have about 1/3 of our membership being community colleges, the other third regional universities and private institutions, but we also have about 1/3 being our Research 2 and Research 1 institutions. And we want them to work more closely together and create pathways of success all the way from the community college up to the PhD level programs in a more intentional and systematic way. And we're going to do it. So that will allow for them to share more of those resources across the continuum. And so we do have that as a priority, as a strategic priority for HACU to pursue. And of course, I mentioned to you that we had in our advocacy work been very successful, and I'm just showing the 4 cabinet secretaries that participated in our program just a couple of weeks ago in Washington, and of course mentioned that we had a very robust participation of members of Congress. And it was a very interesting dynamic, because most of the members of Congress